Stay 1126 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. For expounds on coming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please come me directly. Very, very appreciated. Today we're doing Yoredea, Siman Kuf Zayin, Sif Yud Beis, Siman Kuf Ches, Sif Beis. So we're still talking about eggs. And there are more. Yud Beis. Vinay, who itir gam bebeitzi mitam Rabbeinu Shimshon. He allowed also eggs, because of Rabbeinu Shimshon's logic, which we saw yesterday, Tolina, the Surah Baruba Isa. Assume the Isra is in the rove, which means when the rove is in the pot, it's in the pot. The rove is out of the pot, it's out of the pot. Elisha, he took Amanosa mitam lomas again Isra Loma Nishar Isra V'lo Shishim. But he inclines, or it sounds like a very negative word. I don't know how to translate. I'll say negative. Let's use inclines. His intent to mean that mitam lo maskin iser, that we don't assume there's an iser. Roman isha iser b'lo shishim. At no point do we say the iser remain without 60. Klomar lo maskin iser l'masha iser nishar ma'achronim b'kedei. We don't assume that there was an iser, which would result if we assume that the usher egg remained from the last ones in the pot. And I mean, we say enough at the beginning of your pouring out of the eggs from the pot, the forbidden egg fell out. Again, that doesn't sound like particularly complimentary. Dinei kvar bi'arnu, disfaras Rabbeinu Shimshon tamua. Shulchan says that we already explained that the Svara Shimshon is difficult. My house is somebody so Baruba. He said, why would you say the Isser is always together with the Rove? No, but the colony tell us, Miruva tell us. Let's say that anything which came out from the Rove. In other words, it's whatever is, if there's minority which comes out from the Rove, so the usher egg is in there. So therefore, Ramos say that, well, that can't be the reason we matir. Nevertheless, ruba connected ruba have a suffix. Since there's a rove against the rove, that's the rove outside the pot versus the rove inside the pot. It's a suffix. We assume each egg is kosher. Because in this chazaka, ruba the surah, ruba the surah, beruba isa. We say that the ruba, so I think it'd be like this. I don't think high ruba. We incline to this ruba, the surah beruba isa. That the isa is in the rove. Well, b'chol suffix isura, just like any other suffix is in yeshul cheskas heter. Interesting comparison. So if you have a suffix isura and there's a chazaka, you go by the chazaka. So if that's the case over here, it's like, so it's certainly not a cheskas heter, but it's like cheskas heter. In other words, it's in a case of doubt, you can use this assumption that isura beruba isa. This is a very big kiddush. The ain lakshos, you can't ask if he's a lama shenishbach memin misheno mino. In that case, whenever you have a mixture which gets spilled out, and misheno mino, peinedim mishish mino, know if there's 60. Those in a tavshil, we forbid the condition. We don't say, oh, it's cheskas heter. That we assume that the issa is always in the rove. The shani house says them the issa daim mu'ura b'tavshil. This is always mixed in. In other words, it's lach balach. So the issa is always mixed in, and you can't say, well, it's here, it's there. It's really everywhere. Just like the heter has a cheskas heter, that it's present. That it's present. They're mixed together. So bala cheskas name, they cancel each other out. I was saying the raisa, since the raisa, it's awesome. Here, every egg or every fish, in the case of the fish, it's by itself. And we look at each egg, this is not necessarily there. So it's learning it is really a cheskas heter. Much more, not that the ruba, the isers in the rove is a new concept, which is like cheskas heter, but that's considered to be a cheskas heter. That each egg in the taroives has a cheskas heter. It's a very good chiddush. So now the question is, okay, that egg, which we assume is heter, did it get usher because it absorbed isser from the usher egg? So the final analysis discuss this makes a lot of sense because, after all, you'll find the usher egg. That's not the issue. The question is whether the mutter eggs were boleh, taste from the usher egg. So on that, he's saying vis-a-vis that, each egg which is not the usher egg has a cheskas heter. Okay, so he says that cheskas heter is the basis of this leniency here. Mashin kan the kol beitza kol dog, every egg and every fish is separate, independent. This is we're going to be removed. Beitza dogs cheskas heter. So each of the mutter eggs and mutter fish had a cheskas heter. After you're stuffing him nasa blias, but the question is, will now be him also because it absorbed this, sir? Shabrim mekmin lachas kasayu. We can rely on the cheskas heter. Brought down the Ramah's words in the Torah Chatos. Shom Kasav, he said there mitam shadami lenishbach. It's like spilled iser. Because the kan have a min b'shein amino. So he asked him, well, here it's min shein amino, so it should be also just like the tarovis of iser be'eter. He says it's a shachar b'chodesh. Afi mashkatam the kan afi biurenu asi shapi b'kom sefter shmaya. But based on what we said here, no, that's different. Because there, the isser is permeates the entire mixture, whereas here, each egg, and therefore there's no cheskas heter without cheskas isser simultaneously. Here, each egg has its independent cheskas heter. The bracket says here, "Ein shach shom betas you condemn sherichli chos v'vershim b'toras. They rejected Toras Chatos by bringing him Shem Mechas Yaakov Shem Taretz Vav. Mechas Yaakov sustains him. The finish of the answer goes there. Hope that's not necessary according to Arukh HaShulchan's far. Basically, we have placed these subsequent Aleph Sheiksha Bemes Lama Lonu Chazaka. Oh, he brings in Chazaka. Says, why is Chazaka not operative here? In other words, nobody used the term Chazaka until Arukh HaShulchan came along and used it. So everybody else assumed there is no Chazaka here. So the place asks, why Taka there is no Chazaka? Because of Yisrael, Mishum the Tam Teva Adonim HaBeitzim Lisapech Be'ofas Alim Chazaka. The nature of fish and eggs is that they turn mix together, I guess, turn all around in the pot is stronger than chazaka and sham. Utmiyanim astounded, says Arukh. But Odam Be'ufas Badei Mutar, I'm understanding the pot, there's certainly mutar, they're shishim, they're 60. But now, you were shakling the turn. Our whole issue was on the flow. My Yanzel says, what does one thing have to do with the other? Beta Bamas Kabanas Haramal Kani. And what we said, that's the Kabbalah the Ramah says, Taka Cheskas Heter. And that's the basis of the Heter. But Vorim Ru'in L'Misha Maran. Kosh Kosavnu. And it's what the Ramah says, it's appropriate for the Ramah. Because we've now explained everything B'duk. Tour de force. You can know, the Dera Mutter, the call that which is the pot is Mutter, according to everybody. We know so we assume the pot remains with the Cheskas Heter. His Kimach of the Mutter is Rak ad Achar me Ace le Ace. It's the last claim say it's only after 24 hours. When it's nice and time for come anyway. It's a Shach. Padakenu. It's true, says Arukh HaShulchan. The Divrei Oser, Ezafresh Ben Amachol Kiv, if we ask with them, it's between the food and the keli. And Mishum La'achar me Ace, but since after 24 hours, no say time of Kam, it gives enough taste. And therefore, after that 24 hours, even the one who forbids the pot concedes. And now we can use the cheskas heter of the pot, but see roof, the fact that it was nice in time of gam, I guess, and kasha the pot. Those are mati, it's also because of chazaka. Where we just on your base. Not sure exactly how that proves it, but vulnerably the few different oser beitzim, even those who answer the eggs, any beits safrach. It's only if the questionable egg is an egg with a chick. Have a beitza shel b'dam, but an egg with a blood spot. How come with him the chashash? Everybody is no concern. Came in the dam beitzim have the rabbanon, since the blood of eggs is the rabbanon, it's not just the risa. That's why they only wrote an egg with a chick. Only the Taz named Israel Arukh, it was machmir even by egg with a blood spot. And sound that way from the smag and from the Shulchan Smag, who only mentioned a egg with a chick. If I recall correctly, in the days when blood spots were blood spots, real blood spots, because they're fertilized eggs, uh, there was a chumrah. It was cooked there with other eggs to throw out the whole mixture. Roshan says not correct. Bracket says here, yeah, I noticed. The all the words in Farshim in the Simon are complex, and they're not clearly clarified. Seems primarily like Russia or American base in here. On blood spots is only the chatchila. And say if you didn't cool them down, it's aser. Kasav lo yitzei mayim. Just said don't take another water. Kol chatchila, preferably. K'moshe kasav atas stiv konab shem v'teres chatas ayin shlam. Yudal. I'm not sure if that last thing he says about the word Ramah. I think he's not going just on blood spots. He's talking on all the coolers of the Ramah. That if you didn't leave it, because Beishay said you have to cool down. Ramah says you don't cool down. You just you didn't cool down, so okay, because the Machzik Isser, which you just saying is the Cheskas Heter. And he wanted the Arukh HaShulchan wants to say, well, the basis perhaps holds the same thing because it resonates that bloats in and up, don't cool down, it's awesome. Okay, it's only Chatchila. Which because I have Steve Ganav, the same to Schat, the sign sham. You doubt. Kfan is Bible same Kuf Dalit. It's already been explained. The Dvorim Musim, repugnant things. Shadam Shesholim Kotza Bahem. Persons disgusted at them. Mikinamolim, like ants, Uzurim, and flies, Chitzmem. In Nimchel Tochatavshil, if they get dissolved into a cooked dish, V'yeshov Heter, and there's a majority of Heter, it's Mutter, Ayin Sham. Koshken Shein Plitas and Aseris, and certainly there, whatever they emit doesn't aser. So if you find an ant or a fly, etc., in a cooked dish, they're going to toss them at tafshil mutter. And dish is mutter. She'en pleitas vormela gumim as osrim. These plate of these things don't aser. Av sheish reminiscent of what Haman said to Achashverosh about. They find a fly in their wine, they'll take out the fly and drink the wine. You've touched the wine, they won't drink the wine. Those are argues. It sounds like the whatever is emitted from a fly is also requires 60. Seems that way from the Torah. That was the primary halacha. It's like those are making minik a poshut. That is the widespread minik. Don't deviate from the minik. Some say the bechal of a shichra, if it's vinegar or beer, which can give anything a good taste, evidently. Everybody has also 60. From the mouse, which can taste good, vinegar or beer. As that I believe that's not the custom. What proves they're from mice? You can't liken one to each other, the other. See, bad bites out sof sharav ayin sham. Yesh mnei adam shekshemotziim zvuv bakos betavshil. That people when they find a fly in a cup or in a cooked dish, zorkin komash bakos, they could throw everything in the cup, chol tavshil or the cooked dish lachutz. Mashma sof gitin shein roy linho kain. Sounds like you're not supposed to do that. Ayin sham hate. Maybe that's Gemara about Haman. I don't think so. Doesn't get it. Okay, Tesvav. Im lokach im hakaf mina gdera dog tummy. If you find a tray fish in your pot and you took it out with a spoon, Oshar Isser in a program or any other Isser which is not off taste, also can't put the spoon back in the pot. Sharei bola kaf me Isser. The spoon absorbed the Isser. The spoon was in a Kli Rishon. Even though the spoon has 60 corresponding to Isser, nevertheless Asura Kaf. It's still Asur. They Misharim Bekalim Shishim. Okay? We don't go after 60. Because I don't know if the absorbed prohibition diffuses throughout the kli or sticks in one place. Zero. Therefore, if you put the spoon back, is 60 corresponding to this which was in the spoon. Lo neged kaf. You don't need to do the corresponding to the spoon because lo mein chatib chanas is available kli. We don't say chanam by keli, except we say by kli cheres, but there's definitely a metal spoon. There are other issues which are clarified inside ches. And even if you toss the Isser out, you need 60 corresponding to that Isser, because maybe the Bli and the Kaf was in its totality, which of course is a very difficult principle, but we find throughout Yoreh De'ah. The English show, Pshita, should tzarech shishim neged Isser, can as well. Isn't it obvious need 60 corresponding to Isser? Sharei Isser yom yikodem b'kliya. This was before in the pot before. So, 60 anyway, because it was in the pot. Why is the spoon? Why is the spoon any different? Why is it the chiddush meisor? I could say the mishkachas could be talking about a case where there were 60 initially. It was 60 corresponding to Isser, but then you took out stuff, and there wasn't 60 corresponding to the spoon after you took the stuff out. Or you stuck the spoon into another pot. If there was little cook of the dish with the Isser in the spoon, whose was put back in the pot, so she should gan degen tavshil. It's 60 correspond that bit of cooked dish. Harei nas and available kaf. It's chanan, also chanan b'shari surin in the spoon when it's in the spoon. Avagav the kafi klisheni, even though the spoon is a klisheni. Come anamachzin kaf karishon. This is a ladle which went in the soup, so we hold it to be like a kli rishon. Because you took it just now out of the pot. Rosach is boiling. Chashmin like a kli rishon l'chumra. We say a kli rishon l'chumra as long as it's over the airspace of the pot. The Simon side base he pays beyond old bazaar and sham explains elsewhere. B'yeshin shom those say the b'chai gavna tzorich l'shar b'shishin then call kaf. 60 corresponding to the entire spoon. B'shum lo yedin akam bo kaf because don't know how much the spoon absorbed. Came with chizira ma'at tavshil l'kedera. And now as you put it back a little bit of the cooked dish into the pot, can come much bola nasin available kaf. Everything that was absorbed becomes available in the spoon. He says not necessarily because it's a balua in any event. In other words, he's saying we don't say it by the spoon. But the question is, do we say that? Well, perhaps it's balua the entire spoon. So he says we don't say that. Not machmer by Isabulua. Practice says I shasi because the bamsha basa came to tzor shishim nega kaf needs 60 corresponding spoon. So they didn't come because they don't know how much to absorb. It seems the way he says is astonishing. Which costs that bear hate of show Rav Scharia Mendel. Okay, I guess it's another bear hate behind shom. Akavanasa la habalua ba chazara hachzorasa la kedera. He's talking about that which is absorbed when it's put back in the spoon, in the pot. Not exactly what this means here. It sounds it's not connected to the entire kaf. I know. Not sure what that all meant. So now we're up to Siman Kuf Ches. Din Reicha im Osayim Lav. Does the smell or not? Al B'din Reich, in terms of the smell, fragrance or odor, however you want to put it. Midavar Eser of something which is forbidden. Also, Seheter, if it answers that which is mutter, rub some machlekes ben Raseinu Rishonim K'moshevar B'Sadishmayim. There's major machlekes. And Mizbar Limi Ushami Chumas Peregur Locha Beis. Now, if you man is feel a Reicha La Milsei, Ushami means even you hold that Reicha La Milsei, which means the smell is not significant. Mikom Kam Madavar Amutar Yamunach Mamish Al Davar Iser Oser. If it was the mutter thing was resting literally on the usher thing, sheyesh barach, and the usher thing does have a smell. The Dukim says that and they cling to each other. Chuliyama usher. Everybody says usher. Minisham Dam Rabbi Yechana. Sheinu Lemeidim Torah v'chulei. Hayinu Menichim Ha'ugo Shalanu Aha Murias. Is to put our cakes on the salted fish, the fish brine. But you told me both time so we used to taste the salted fish. Makshi Ushami Aman, the Mati Bereach, and Ushami has to type what crack a wife, we Mati with it smell. Taretz Mechalomino you. They were fused together. Hayunit Bakos Amorias. They're clinging to the Morias. Amodim Chaygam, everybody agrees in that case, they Rechel Milsa and Shom. First, you should Bakim Zelazeh, if they cling to each other. Vadai Kaim on the Rechel Milsa, then we definitely own Rechel Milsa, and it is also. Based only is like the Yadaik Mishnah Machshirin. So Arukh HaShulchan says, and this can also infer from the Mishnah Machshirin. Pears are if you have fruit which is in a barrel. You put the barrel in a beverage. Shavim pears gufa mashke, the fruit absorbs the beverage, not just the smell. Therefore, the beverage is also the fruit. That's what it says there. If you have a barrel full of fruits, sooner mashkin that's inside a beverage, or mola mashkin, vice versa. A barrel full of beverage, the sooner pears, it's put inside a bunch of fruit. Vishavu, I guess it means they absorb. Kosher shavu b'chiyutan. Anytime they absorb the beverage, the mukshal kabatuma. Based on mashkamur, of course, with what mashkamur talk about, but mayim yaim v'chaymetz. It's water, wine, and vinegar. V'shar kol mashkim term. All the other mashkim are tor. I'm not sure why. It should be all the 7 mashkim. First, the pair of shavim, my mama shows shlosha mashkim. So Arukh HaShulchan explains it. Says that only these 3 beverages do the peiros, the fruit, absorb. Below public shum time says no time hours. And this completely comment is apparent, like he argued later on, but wrote a pas chama by somebody who removes a hot loaf from the oven. And the son of Gabi Chav puts it on the top of a barrel of wine. The plugas he gam came very good the chumas kavirecho, which is also machlekes in chumas by the smell. Amadina the heksha, bedina the recho begam the chadahim. So Roshon wants to say that the din of heksha and the din of recha for iser are similar. Just to argue on recha, so they're going to argue on heksha, whether it's showev or not. It's going to argue this mission. Here must be everybody agrees that's machshir, because this recha is milsa. Recha. So you can see for recha too, where there is direct contact. Maybe Mishnah Zuhachdin the recha and Sham Moshe. Oh, so Shami does make that connection. Saim Sham it consumes the Mishnah the kidneos ain't even lashov. Beans don't draw. Here's the type of shad void about bears and question why other things other than fruit in doiming the pears or kidneos are like fruit or like legumes. And said there's no sack in this matter. Bracket says here I sham tertiyantish because of the rock beperos. It's only fruit, not legumes. Moshe Misham Misham. Cholok Alav, Ayin Sham V'duk. You Moshe argue.